And you're watching Roots TV Nigeria. It is a day for the supplementary elections in Nigeria. And with me here is the board chair of the Observer Group, YIAGA Africa, Hussein Abdul. Very much welcome.
Thank you very much.
Okay, now the first question in the mind of everyone was seeing what's going on social media. The People's Democratic Party has called for the cancellation of the elections in Kano State, and the APC is refuting that. What would you say from your observation that you've noticed thus far?
What we are getting from our observers, yes, there are large scale use of thugs, political party thugs, in several locations of the polling units across the state. Intimidations were going on. Party agents were intimidated. Observers are continuously being intimidated. In some places, yes, it is the APC. In other places, it's a clash between both the APC and the PDP. So it is quite a very chaotic and unacceptable process that we're seeing in Kano.
Do you agree that the elections there should be cancelled, having observed thus far?
We haven't reached that conclusion at the moment because what we share today is a preliminary observations, which means that information we received from the morning to about 1:30 p.m. today. So I think tomorrow, by the time we get to other details, then that will allow us to run a conclusion and probably be able to recommend whatever we are able to agree on. Because we work largely in YIAGA with data, because we have a large observer team and they are sending information that we process quantitatively, which is very different from anecdotal observations. So we are very careful with the anecdotes, particularly when things just drop on the social media, because we also know that the social media, as much as people want to do the right thing, people also take positions based on partisan
Okay, so you also, while giving your statement, spoke about, Plateau, Bauchi, where you said there were high vote buying there. You talked about, secret ballot system, was not used in that process. Do you see this as the Commission's inability to give us credible elections?
Yeah, we mentioned secret ballots not being used. In one word, actually, it was a polling unit in Woodhill in Kano. That's what we say. There's no secrecy, but we're not saying generally everywhere. But yes, when you have, and that has been the history of supplementary elections, actually, anytime you're having supplementary elections, the cases of vote buying increase, intimidations increase, violence increase, because the units are very small and all the players mobilize to go to that place. They either mobilize to bribe or mobilize to disrupt it further or suppress vote from the other side. And I think that probably after these elections, we may need to have a rethink on these supplementary elections, whether we actually need it for our elections at all. Because from history, in all the elections that have been inconclusive, in recent time, we've always have this kind of situation, because it creates a level of desperation. Somebody is lagging with a small number of votes. He wants to grab it and win. The person that is leading wants to sustain the lead, and that creates the kind of desperation. And our politicians are not disciplined to actually recognize that this is an election. Somebody must win and someone must lose, and they have no respect for system. They are always working to subvert process. And that's unacceptable. The politicians today in this country have become the major threat to our democracy. And it's important that we address these issues.
All right, thank you very much. And now as you've listened, our electoral process, it doesn't seem to be going anywhere forward anytime soon. The look at supplementary elections is still a bit more shaky. There is a lot that needs to be done. We saw what happened in Osun State yesterday with the judgment, and of course that is going all the way to the Supreme Court. Today, Nigerians are out again in supplementary elections, and we're hearing of violence in places like, Kano, and we're hearing of vote buying, underage voting, and all of that. The Independent National Election Commission definitely, like my guests have said, have a lot to do, and the political class, of course, need to be more connected to the electorate and the people than their personal interests. Aisha Jibrin, Roots TV, Nigeria.